Hey, Wild Mamas and friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Wild Mama Podcast. This is a special edition because it's my birthday. I am 39 years old. I love celebrating my birthday. And so I thought I'd do a special little birthday reflection and sharing. I've learned in my adulthood that not everybody loves to celebrate their birthday, which was a shock to me because I love celebrating my birthday. But I've come to realize that it's different for everyone. And so I thought it might be valuable to share a little bit about why I love celebrating my birthday, how I celebrate my birthday, and also a little bit about my experience when I was a little bit ashamed to celebrate my birthday and say what I needed, and would often wait for other people to celebrate me in the way that I wanted to be celebrated, and often would fail, and how terrible that would make me feel. Yeah, because it wasn't good. But I did do that for many years. I would wait for people to be excited about my birthday, as excited as me, to celebrate me in the ways that I wanted to be celebrated. But I have to also admit that I wasn't always communicating how I wanted to be celebrated. Side note, my daughter one year had to hold me accountable to this, or maybe I should say mirror it back to me. But she was like, Mom, your love language is gifts. Just accept it. And I was like, oh my God, that's so true. My love language is gifts. And I have many love languages, but that is one of them. I do really enjoy gifts. I love being given thoughtful gifts. I don't like getting like a grill or like dishes or something to clean the house. Like maybe I'll take a blanket or something, like if it's like a nice throw blanket. But there's certain things that I don't enjoy receiving on my birthday, and then there's things I do love receiving on my birthday, like books, stationery, paint, paintings, cards, yeah, stuff like that, clothes, jewelry, backpacks. That's one thing I really love getting on my birthday is backpacks. But for a long time, I was like a little bit more reserved in saying what I want, saying what I need around my birthday, outwardly just expressing and celebrating myself. But I've come a long way, y'all. And for the most part, I've always loved celebrating my birthday. But now I'm just really, really good at also being honest about what I need to celebrate my birthday and what's going to make me happy. And I've taken the reins on my birthday so that I know that my day is going to be a great day, and I'm not waiting for someone else to make my day a great day. So I just wanted to share a little bit about that. And yeah, so let's get into it. So my birthday, I'm going to start with a little bit of reflection. The last year of being 38 has been a roller coaster. It has been one of deep growth, self-discovery, but also like stepping more into me and into my power. I don't know if y'all have read the book The Big Leap before, but The Big Leap talks about how a lot of people will stay in their zone. I think this is what they call it, their zone of excellence. Right? It's the place where you're really good. You probably have a lot of experience in that area working, and you get by. Like you might make a lot of money in a job or whatnot, but it's not your zone of genius, right? Your zone of genius is how I would describe it, aligning to the energy of your soul. Your zone of genius is where you fully express the deep purpose that you're here to enact in the world. And it's a little bit uncomfortable at first, but it's really where your flow happens. It's where, you truly thrive. And so I have been building into my zone of genius through Wild Mama, through my program, through the work that I do. But I wasn't in that zone all the time because I was still working a full-time job or consulting. And I was very much in my zone of excellence. My zone of excellence is being a director of operations, a managing director, doing strategic planning, organizational development, managing teams. Like I do enjoy that stuff, and I'm good at it. But it's not my zone of genius. And so recently I had the awareness, or like it kind of came to mind that, oh, that's why things didn't ultimately work out with jobs or, certain things in that area that I was working in, because ultimately I wasn't meant to be in that place forever, right? And so one of the biggest reflections I would say that I've had in the last year is that when I'm operating in my zone of genius, when I'm operating in my flow, when I'm truly living aligned to the energy of my soul, things work out. OMG, things actually work out. And I have had the narrative that things don't work out, and so I would expect things not to work out in the end. Whether that be like being super hopeful for a job, like, oh, this is going to be the one, this is going to be the job that I thrive, where I'm mentored, where I'm able to really come into my leadership potential, and then womp, 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 never happens. And there's a lot of disappointment around that. But I think now that I have quit my job, right, in the last year, 38 year of life, I quit multiple jobs actually. And I came into Wild Mama full time, taking that leap, which is so wild. Wild Mama. I quit my jobs. And so even though it's been a little bit scary, a bit of a roller coaster, I have been in my zone of genius. And, let's be real and close the children's ears if they're around. But I'm really fucking good at what I do when it comes to Wild Mama, when it comes to facilitating transformation, when it comes to creating the spaces that are needed and conducive to allowing transformation to happen. I am fucking good. I am great. Like, it is definitely what I'm here to do in this life. And being able to focus on this full time has allowed me to witness myself in a fuller way that has been transformative. It's been honestly quite shocking because I knew I was good at what I do. Like, the testimonials speak for themselves. Like I knew I'm good at that. But jumping into it and going full time with it and having my first retreat back in February, and just meeting myself in a deeper way, starting a in-person event and facilitating these places and spaces and, hosting Wild Mama Voices and just doing all of the things that I've actually been afraid to do for so many years, and seeing them work out, seeing them do well, seeing things happen exactly how I envisioned them to happen. It's been like mind blowing and undeniable, completely undeniable. And so I've just come to a point where, like, if I have had any doubt in my abilities to do this work and to create transformation for mamas and to help us and facilitate our healing and wholeness, well, that doubt can now go away. Because I've been shown myself, and it feels good. Honestly, it feels good because there were so many years in my life when I did not know what my purpose was. I did not know how to follow through with anything. I knew I had a fire in my belly. I knew I had something more to create in this life, but I did not know how to get there. It was such a struggle. I was on the struggle bus for a long time. And I coped. I coped by watching trash TV, eating junk food, all kinds of stuff. So I'm just super grateful to be in this place. And even though where I'm at right now feels like it's at the bottom of that level, it's still many, 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 many levels above where I used to be. Or if we think of it as like a spiral, I've gone around the spiral a couple of times now. And so I'm at this place in the spiral where it feels like I've been here before, but I'm kind of at the beginning of this new space, this new level of awareness and expansion within myself. And so it's a beautiful thing. It's something I'm super proud of. And there are definitely areas that I want to keep growing. There's areas that I'm being stretched right now. There's areas that I'm like massively needing to improve. But I've been reflecting a lot in the last couple of weeks how, Tiff, this moment in your life, this situation that you are in, working for yourself, living in the most beautiful place on earth. It's warm, you have access to nature, your children are safe, you are safe, you're the most loved and nurtured you've ever been, you own your own business. Like, all of these things were dreams that past Tiff, younger Tiff, had. And so, yes, there are things I really want to get better at and really want to improve, but I'm also living the dream that I used to dream of living. Oh my gosh. It's really incredible. And this is part of why I love celebrating my birthday, because I'm like, yeah, I could be doing better. Always. We could always be doing better. Yes, there are things that I want to improve. Yes, there are mistakes I've made in my life. Yes. And I'm doing a damn good job with what I have, with what I've been given. And I like to celebrate myself along this journey. I like to give myself just a little bit of acknowledgement and props that, hey, Tiff, we're doing a good job. Like, we're really committed to our growth. We're really committed to living a life of purpose and intention. We're really committed to being honest. We're really committed to being of service, to bringing value. We're really committed to, raising our children in a holistic way. And let's be honest, like, I have really changed our circumstances. I did not get raised in a wealthy family. I wasn't given too much. And I took the little I was given and all the fire in my belly, and I've created dreams. I've made them a reality. So, I mean, come on, that's worth celebrating. And so I guess, I like honoring my journey. I like honoring the both and that gives me a lot of joy and contentment and peace. And also, let's be real. My grandmother died at 39. My mother died at 53. I am very grateful to be alive. And for a very, very long time, I was actually afraid of death. I was afraid that I also was going to die really young. I don't know exactly when I'm going to die, but, a few years ago, probably like 4 or 5 years ago, my ancestors gave me a really, really impeccable gift. I was out camping and I was woken up by the light of the moon. It came through the tent and I woke up. And they were kind of, confronting me about my fear of the dark, because anytime I go camping, I love camping, but I am so scared of the dark. And so we were sort of in conversation about why was I afraid of the dark. And part of, the reason, part of some of the stuff that came up is I'm not actually afraid of nature. I'm not actually afraid of all of that. I'm afraid of people. I'm afraid of people coming out of the forest and getting me. And that is some ancestral trauma, some slave trauma, because that's how so many of my people, both my African ancestors and my Native ancestors, my Seminole and Cherokee ancestors, that's how they were, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but chased, attacked, killed, all kinds of things. And so there's definitely some ancestral trauma there. But then they flipped it on me and they were like, Tiff, what if you knew that you had 75 more years to live? what would you do? How would that change your relationship to life, your perspective, your relationship to yourself, and this fear of death, right? What would you do if you knew you had 75 more years to live? And I was like, whoa, for someone who has been afraid of death, afraid of dying really young, to think about having 75 more years to live this life, considering the fact, at the time I would think I was about 34, considering the fact that the last 34 years at that time, I was spending a lot of that time healing from trauma, figuring stuff out. I wasn't fully conscious. I hadn't healed much at all. I did up at, 34, but a lot of those years I didn't because I didn't know how. So it was mind-boggling to me to think about having 75 more years of more healed and whole living. I'm like, I did a lot in just these years, and a lot of that was healing from trauma. What if I had those 75 years of more awareness and living with intention and clarity? What would I do? Like, what would become possible? And it really calmed my fears. It really calmed my inhibitions around living a full life and giving myself permission to embrace life. And here's what I know for sure. I know that is one of the top things that get robbed from us as folks of color, is the gift of time, the blessing of time, the grace of time, right? People who are able to build generational wealth and truly heal and shift things, they need time. They have time. They have the gift of time. And that is one of the things that gets robbed from us and taken from us. And so I stopped feeling like I have no time, and I started operating in my life as if I have time. Because if I have time, then I can build a legacy, right? Like, if I have time, I can actually start to change something. If I have 75 years to live consciously and truly create an impact and make a shift in this life, leave a legacy, leave some roots for the next 7 generations for them to carry forward long after I'm gone. I mean, come on. Like, that's a whole different way of operating in life. That's a whole way of realizing that, oh, I'm not behind. I'm right on time, baby. I got 75 years to figure this out. Yes, I don't ultimately have control, whether I'm here for 75 or 80 or 65 more years. But I'm going to live and operate like I have 75 more years to live. I'm going to operate like I have time, and I've been given the gift of creating a legacy and intentionally passing things on to the next 7 generations. I mean, come on. That really shifts the way that I see myself, the way that I see my life, the way that I honor my journey. Because in the patriarchy and in white supremacist culture, it's all about, I recently got my nose pierced, so this thing sometimes, so if you see me doing this to my nose, for the people watching, that's why. But anyways, in white supremacist culture, they're all about productivity, linear thinking, go, go, go. If you're not doing this, you're behind. If you're not perfect, you're wrong. And that's just not how indigenous folks live. That's not how our ancestors lived. So yeah, this is part of why I honor my journey, and I am grateful to be on this journey and to be able to celebrate myself. And you know what? One more thing I'll say about it. Used to spend so much time, so many years waiting for people to see me, honor me, lift me up. It's the worst way to live. It really is the worst way to live. And so, in my healing journey, I learned how much power I was giving away to people and how much I was waiting for people to see me, and how disappointed I often was and frustrated. And so, part of my healing was taking responsibility for my own happiness, for my own self. And so, yeah, I own it. I own it. I own my life. I own the celebration of my life. I own my joy. I own the needs that I have around my birthday to make it special. And so when I celebrate my birthday, I do whatever I want that makes me happy. And it's different all the time. There's usually food involved because I love, 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 love food that makes me happy. So going to my favorite restaurants or eating my favorite foods is usually a part of it. For this year, I'm kind of going back and forth with some things I want to do this year, but I'm thinking about maybe going for a swim in the morning. I have my kids in the morning and got to take them to school, so I can't see the sunrise. Otherwise, I'd probably see the sunrise, but I could do that on the weekend. But we're going to go to one of my favorite restaurants. I'm going to have dinner with friends on a different day. And just, just flow, just allow myself to be in joy, to honor myself, and be happy. Why not? Yeah, so I feel like, for us as mamas, we are absolutely conditioned to not celebrate ourselves, to put ourselves in the background, to act like we don't exist. And I'm just not about that life. You are here for a reason. You deserve to be. You deserve to exist. You deserve to be celebrated. And so I'm here to model that and show that that is possible. It's not selfish. It's not greedy. It's not self-centered. It's life. It's life. And it's, if that's what brings you joy, do it. And honestly, I think what I've also learned is the people who truly love you in your life, they want to celebrate you, and they want to celebrate you in a way that truly makes you happy. And they don't want to guess. They don't want to guess on what you want. So yes, if you want a surprise, tell people that you want to be surprised this year. If you want certain gifts, say these are some things that would really make me happy. You don't have to be like, all diva about it or anything, or you can, whatever. But like, there's a way to do it with love. There's a way to do it with care. There's a way to do it that is clear and direct, but also open and, loving. But that's also why I really take the reins in the things that I really want to do, so that if anybody wants to do something for me, they absolutely can. But if nobody did anything for me on my birthday, here's what I'm going to do for me so that I am very, very happy. So I do this at Christmas also. Christmas and my birthday, I will buy gifts for myself with things that I am very excited to get. And I will put them in like a backpack that I bought. I will wrap that baby up, and I will give myself a gift from myself. I usually say from Red Heart Wild Eagle because that's who I am. That's my name. And I will give myself those gifts because, again, I can't rely on anybody thinking of me. I can't rely on anyone giving me things that I really want. And so instead of having those expectations and being disappointed, I always just make sure that at least I'm giving myself something I want, and I'm happy with that thing, and I'm going to give myself a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'm going to be so happy with me that everything everyone else gives me is like a bonus. So it's funny because my kids every Christmas are like, laughing because I'm giving gifts to myself. But it makes me happy. It makes me really happy to celebrate me, to give me the things that I enjoy and that I know I'm going to like. And then allow anybody else to express their love in the ways that they want to. But I don't have to rely on it or depend on it. It's just something that is an added, bonus to what I'm already doing for myself. So those are some of the ways that I celebrate, why I think celebrating my birthday is so important. And I hope it's inspiration for you to celebrate in your own way. Again, I know that for some people, celebrating their birthday is not something that they really enjoy, or not something that they fully feel comfortable with. which is totally okay. This is not about you have to celebrate your birthday. But sometimes I think seeing examples from other people and hearing what other people do can be inspiration, a source of inspiration for ourselves and for, opportunities to try something different in the future. So if you're having a birthday very soon, happy, happy, happy birthday. I'm telling myself, happy, happy, happy birthday. And yeah, I'm celebrating you. If you're not celebrating you, I'm celebrating you. I'm celebrating me. I'm celebrating us as a collective. We are making some incredible shifts, making some deep, 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 deep changes. And it really deserves some praise and some celebration, some recognition, some acknowledgement. So I'm giving you all my birthday love and energy and hope and possibility, inspiration, joy. And by the way, I'm an Aries and Aries rising. So also fire, giving lots and lots of this fire over to y'all. But thank you so much for being a part of this Wow Mama community. Thank you so much for just being a part of my life. For some of you who are on my newsletter, you replied back and shared with me why the newsletter is so meaningful to you and what value it brings to you. So just hearing from you all and getting birthday wishes and hearing how the work that Wow Mama is doing is positively impacting your life, it just really means a lot to me. So I thank you for it. I'm grateful. I'm so honored to do this work and to live this life. And yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, happy birthday to me. Bye, y'all.